Well, I remember I talked to Wood Harris
Wood
about
Harris,
this.
my
who
brother.
worked with Idris on The Wire.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he just explained to me how over there, theater is more ingrained into the culture.
They deserve the roles because
No, I mean they're obviously great actors.
Better, not just great. They're often better because my theory on it is that they grow up with Shakespeare from day one.
Right.
So they grow up with a poetry in their life that we don't.
So these guys come in doing theater from like elementary school.
That's probably what. Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
I've never done theater, and that's probably what I need to do. And that's probably where they get us at. If you got more practice in something, more, you're gonna be better at it. I never thought, and I never had the desire, but now I'm to do theater. I don't know.
Why not?
Because it's live, I guess.
Scarier, yeah.
I think it's a little bit, because on set you just got to worry about this, this here, and I really don't see that. But on there, you got the people out there. I think it'll be a challenge. I'm gonna do that.
Well, and then you booked my favorite show on television, Snowfall.
Oh, man, bro.
With John Singleton.
My big brother, man.
So how long ago did you book that role?
I booked that role actually March 19th.
This year?
This year, on my birthday. I read for John on my birthday.
And, I've said this to Freeway Ricky Ross, and I'm like, I know this is going to piss you off because he has his own issues with Snowfall and John Singleton, because the story is, I guess, loosely based on Freeway Ricky. But I told Freeway straight up, I'm like, this is my favorite show on television right now. Like,
powerful, wonderful.
My favorite show on television is Snowfall. I know this is going to annoy you when I say this. I know this. I know this.
Boo!
Have you watched it at all?
Never.
Never.
What? I'm not really into fairy tales.
Okay.
First of all.
Because the story, as someone who's watched every episode, it is clearly the Ricky Ross story. Based on I'm not saying exactly.
You're right. And you're right. You're probably right. But it's still,
all the way to there's a whole Nicaraguan Contra with a DEA agent, like the whole, based on all the conversations you and I have had together, this is so
they
the
probably
Freeway
watched
Ricky
your
Ross.
interviews too.
They probably did. Like Snowfall is just brilliant the way it's put together. Once again with another British actor playing the lead.
Yeah.
Once again.
Damson.
Yeah.
Damson.
So you booked this role. Had you actually met with Singleton before?
Well, I met Singleton a couple of times in my career early on. Just going through the same, going for auditions. He came down. Actually, I met him the first time on the set of The Wood.
Okay.
And I was filming the scene where I was at the school and I was about to beat the dude up for touching on my sister. And John was up there and he introduced himself to me and I was just shocked and in awe. And he was like, man, you're a great actor. Because he was watching us perform. And that was the first time I met him. We never had a chance to do nothing or work at that moment in time because I went to prison after that.
Right. I mean, Singleton is Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice, Baby Boy, Higher Learning, Shaft.
Rosewood,
Fast and Furious 2.
It's just.
Yeah. So I interviewed Isaiah John.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Who's on Snowfall.
Absolutely, played Leon.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
One of the main characters. And we talked about Snowfall, the similarities with Boys in the Hood, and he kind of explained to me, which makes a lot of sense, that, and when I watched the first episode of Snowfall, I got that Boys in the Hood feel from it, like with the way the cameras were panning and the look and feel of it.
Yeah.
Like I felt like this was a continuation of Boys in the Hood in a way.
Right. Well, actually, this would be, if anything, this would be like a pre-Boys in the Hood because this is before crack. This is before people had bars on their windows and before the neighborhoods were really bad. So if anything, Boys in the Hood would have been, after Snowfall. When it comes to time-wise, time era. So.
Snowfall was almost like a prequel to Boys in the Hood. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was set right before
Boys in the Hood.
the Boys in the Hood happened.
Era, yeah.
You know, because that's
You
when
could
crack,
see it, yeah.
that's when crack was first hitting LA and everything else like that. And it was just so, the show was so well done, and you could just feel Singleton's, you know, fingerprints all over it, with the way the shots look and the way it feels, you know, because, I mean, think about the number of movie stars that Singleton made just from Boys in the Hood alone.
Man,
Ice Cube's first role. Cuba Gooding went on to win an Oscar.
Nia Long. Morris Chestnut.
Morris Chestnut went on to be a movie star. Like,
oh my goodness, Omar Epps, Higher Learning.
Omar Epps on Higher Learning. I mean, Janet
Yeah,
Jackson,
Janet
that was one of her
Jackson.
first roles. Tupac.
Wow, Tyrese. Real
yeah,
life.
exactly.
It's like
he was a springboard to a lot of
architect,
people.
bro.
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest men ever that I met, and genuine. Like really, he grew up in LA, so
Yeah.
he had a love and a appreciation for our culture because he grew up in it, and to a point, I'm pretty sure he suffered at that time too.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he did, so he knew about it. So that's why he could connect and deliver these movies, Poetic Justice, Boys in the Hood, and it was all based loosely on Los Angeles, some aspect of it. So that shows how much he loved his city, and we love him.
Okay, so you get booked for that show.
Yes, sir.
What's the character that you play? Because it's a new character.
It's a new character.
Yeah.
His name is Scully. His name is Scully, and he's coming out in season 3 of Snowfall, and you know, he's a real wild, exciting, vibrant person. You know, I'm gonna show out.
Okay, so you get booked for that role.
Yes, sir.
And how much is Singleton actually working on this day to day?
He's working every day.
So every day he's on set.
Yeah, he's there every day. Yes, sir.
Because it's executive produced by him, but there's an actual director. And,
You have guest directors that come in. However, he's the brains. You know.
Got it.
Executive producer. It's his ideas. You know. So.
Okay, so you book it in March, and now you're working with Singleton.
Absolutely.
Every day.
Yes, sir.
Do you guys do the whole season? Complete it?
Oh no, we doing my role is a reoccurring role. So right now I was able to work with him on the season 3 first episode. That's what we shot. How we got more
episodes to go. So here you are. You're working with one of your heroes once again, and you're working on an incredible TV project.
Absolutely.
You know, which is really up your alley, anyways.
I'm
being
so
an LA,
excited.
an LA guy, and then you hear about the stroke.
Yeah.
Was there anything about John Singleton leading up to this? Did he seem healthy and everything?
He seemed healthy, he seemed happy, excited, man, normal. Everything was fine.
But then you get the news about, well, first he had a heart attack.
Yes, I heard he had I get the news that he was in the hospital and he had a stroke. That's what I heard. And so I was devastated. However, I was hopeful at the same time because I'm like, okay, I know people that have had strokes and they've come out of it.
Yeah.
So my thoughts were just, sending positive prayers and energy and hoping for John's recovery. And
then I remember Taraji P. Henson and Tyrese, they take a picture in the hospital with John. He's kind of smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't quite seem fully there, but at least he's conscious.
Yes,
it
sir.
appears. So you're okay. He's going to pull out of it.
Yeah.
And then you hear he goes into a coma again.
Yeah.
And then you hear that the family actually takes him off life support.
Mm-hmm.
And it just happens so fast.
Yeah, too fast.
When you got that,
I'm still not fully at grips with, this understanding this. You know what I mean? It's too because I just was with my brother. He was talking to me and looking. We eating, we having lunch. He in my trailer. Reminiscing and talking about, this character that he's created, that he knew growing up, Scully, you know what I mean? just to be working with somebody as prolific and wonderful as John Singleton, and to be doing it, man, it's a blessing and a dream come true, and it hurts, man. It's something that, you know, I hate to happen, man.
I mean, 51 years old, man. That is not very old at all.
I'm
That's
43,
a young man.
man. So
Yeah, that's 8 years.
yeah, that's not.
Yeah, it's an actual tragedy, and I'm sure that he
My
had.
condolences go out to his family, his children.
I mean, I was looking forward to another Tupac movie that he actually directed. That's what I always felt the one that came out was, it was cool, but it wasn't what it potentially could do. And I always was hoping that maybe he would come back, circle back around.
I'm pretty
and do
sure
another
he
one.
was too.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just unfortunate.
sad. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
John Singleton, man,
Great.
one of the
Salute you,
giants.
brother.
One
Love
of the
you,
giants
sir.
in,
Thank you, sir.
in movies.
To your family, thank you. Love y'all.